Okay, this is part three. Oral history and genealogical evidence have been used to estimate timelines of Luo expansion into within Kenya and Tanzania. Four major waves of migration into the former Nyanza province in Kenya are discernible, starting with the people of Jok, which is estimated to have begun around 1490 to 1517. Jok were the first and largest wave of migrants into northern Nyanza. These migrants settled at a place called Ramogi Hill, then expanded around northern Nyanza. The people of Oweni and the people of Omolo, Jok Omolo, followed soon after 1598 to 1625. A miscellaneous group composed of the Suba, Sakwa, Asembo, Ioma, and Kano then followed. The Suba originally were Bantu-speaking people who assimilated into Luo culture. They fled from the Buganda kingdom in Uganda. After the civil strife that followed the murder of 24th Kabaka Bukanda in the mid-18th century and settled in South Nyanza, especially at Ruzinga and Mafango Islands. Luo speakers crossed Wenham Gulf of Lake Victoria from Nyanza into South Nyanza starting in early 17th century. All right, so first thing when I hear the word jock, biblically the first thing I think of is Joktan. That's the first thing I think of when I hear jock. So you got Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram, then Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, then Eber goes to Joktan, then Eber goes to Peleg. Joktan. Right? So I'm not sure if they have a relation towards it. I'm just gonna make a guess. When I hear Suba, right? You know, a miscellaneous group composed of the Suba, right then follow. When I think of Suba, I think of, Sheba, Sakwa. That's just educated guesses, but it's just an educated guess. But let's get back to the other part. That might not matter. But the part that does matter is the joke part. Joka. Starting with the people of Jok. So joke goes back to, where did I put? We type in joke. Dang, it's not there. Alright, so when you do joke, it goes back to a player, but now we're in Asia. It goes back to Thailand, a Thai version of classic Asian rice porridge. Then it goes back to China, juk, Korea, just food, right? And then when you put joka, it goes back to India, a place in India, right? So we're gonna copy and paste this. Right, West Bengal, India. Then we just get away from all that. We don't have to read about this part. right? So, you know, just showing the other part. So now we're gonna get to this part right here. The earliest modern African political organization in Kenyan colony sought to protest pro-settler policies and increase taxes on Africans and despised Kipande. Mass meetings were organized separately by Luo people in Kivarondo and the Kikuyu people in Nairobi. Alright, that's all we gotta read. Now we're gonna get to more information about the Luos people. Alright, just before I go, just want to make sure I see everything. Now we're gonna go to here, right? Luos assimilated. This is a Kenyan man talking about the Luo people, right? Luos assimilated. Dang, what's this? Why is it freezing like this? There are two ways of being Luo. Paternal lineage to the primary Luo cluster of clans and clans, paternal assimilation up to 33rd generation. But to belong to the Luo family also entails being children of aunties and sisters married outside the Luo community, wives married into Luo clans from other communities. Right? Most Luos know their extended families, lineage, clans very well because Luo hierarchy is very clear and strict. Those of assimilated Bantu groups find it difficult to trace their roots and fit. This is because most Bantus don't have strict clan-based hierarchy as Nilos, who have clear and distinct structures right into clusters of clans. So I therefore outline the various Luo clans. The list is comprehensive as far as Kenya is concerned. So you got Tikiti, Jok Omolo, Jok Omi. Tikiti was an essential settlement for Luo people after leaving Dog Nam. Jok, right? I didn't, and these are all the clan names. We don't gotta read all of them, but when I realized, like, what in the world is a dog? What does he mean by Dog Nam? And then Tikiti, Nam is a Chinese word, but Tikiti, right? Joke. So when you go to Jok, that's a place in India. Joka, right? And then Tikiti, we're gonna type it. What was that, guys? Alright, Tikiti, Dog Nam. Just going back to a dog in India. Narayan. So Black Zumi. So I just had it last time. Was it Luo? So you go here. We'll open one for this one. Right, so let's get back to here. Then we go down. During the Ik Log Pak Opuk, Luos lived in Dog Nam. This was centuries after leaving our homeland, Kemet, which was shared with other Nilotic Africans. So remember, Kemet is really India, somewhere in India, right? Allegedly Cambodia too. Our leader at Dog Nam, Senakuru Kukulabanga was recalled by Joke Nyalakolakaga to go to join our ancestors. And then the argument that ensued. Before his demise, he urged Lewis to leave Dog Nam after his death. So get the H out now. Leave. Right? Leave India. Get out of India before you die. Right? So when we look at Sena, Sena, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's a Chinese word, Canaanite word, right? So we didn't know. Sena, Chinese word, archaic Japanese word for China, right? Sena, Sin, Canaan, right? Sin, Canaan, right? All right. And then Kuru, that's a Hindu word, I believe. Kuru, that's an Indian word. Kuru, Asia, Kuru Kingdom. Told you, their stuff keep going back to India, man. Kuru, right? And then Cuckoo. What in the world is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Cuckoo food, Iranian dish, cuckoo people from South Sudan. Then type Asia. Let's see what you have a place called Kiku or Palu Kuku refugee camps. Where is it going back to? Malaysia this time. So we're going to type Pulu Kuku. Okay, so Pulu Kuku or Pula Kup primarily refers to distinct locations in Southeast Asia, an Indonesian island with a harrowing historical refugee camp and protected Malaysian mangrove island. Located in remote Anambas archipelago of Indonesia. This island historically was significant as the site of a former refugee camp that housed approximately 40,000 Vietnamese refugees fleeing the Civil War starting in 1979. Palu Kuku, Malaysia, right? Get this fly away. And then, so yeah. And then, Lubanga. You do Lubanga. Right? When you do Lubanga, you don't really get anything. You type Asia. Right? Doesn't say anything, but when you do Lubanga, surname, goes back to Congo. And then we go to forebears. It's in Kenya. It's in Kenya, Uganda, Congo, Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia, South Africa, Philippines. Then we go back. Now, when you take the A off, which guess where it goes back to? The surname Lubang is primarily of Filipino origin. It stems from the Tagalog word Lubang, which means hole, pit, or opening. The last name can also be tightly direct to a location, Lubang Island. Right. So, and then we can look at the surname. Where is it found? Sudan. It's found in Philippines, Sudan, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, Uganda. And then you go to Lubang Island. Lubang is the largest among the 7 islands in Lubang group of islands in the archipelago, situated to the northwest of the northern tip of the island of Mindoro in Philippines. Right? So right, the Lubang Islands is Philippine, is home to the Philippine cobra, Naja philippinus, right? And record of king cobra species. Right? So I just want to see what happens when you type Africa. Mindoro, Zimbabwe. In Africa, Mindoro primarily refers to a small rural farm and location in Malebela North Province of Zimbabwe. Right. So, all right. So it was recalled by Joke Nyanlaka. Let's just look up this name. East African. Just put Asia. Doesn't really go back to anything. So let's just go back here. Alright, so upon his death, there were differences between groups. Our group proceeded to Takiti, while the other group proceeded to Wapacho Duong. Type Duong. It's a Vietnamese surname. Right. Going back to Khmer and Gurwat. Right, Duong was the king of Cambodia by 1841. Blah blah blah. Right, King Chan. So this is just another note to keep in mind. This name goes back to Vietnam, and it goes back to Cambodia. So most Luos of Sudan and South Sudan belong to this group. They were led to this place by Okang and Dermor. See what Okang does. So look, you gotta look up these words, man, because they don't just go back to Africa. You know. Now I know what a Kang is. It ain't a king, but Pubangu, the place of the wilderness. See what this go back to. I wonder what this. Alright, so we can X that out. Then we can skip this. I'm not signing in, bro. We're almost there. Okay, I'm gonna have to sign in. Well, no, we don't have to. I thought I was already signed in, bro. Alright. We'll just leave this alone. Let's go to hold a second, guys. Alright, so we're going to go to this one, this link. In Lua oral tradition, dog, because I was trying to figure out what that dog nam is, and Tigidi represent key ancestral homelands along their migration routes from South Sudan. Dog nam refers to the mouth of the river lake in the Nile Basin, often identified as Bahr el Ghazal, or lake in North South Sudan. Right? Tikiti, an ancient settlement where the Luo migrated after leaving Dog Nam. This is region believed to be located in present-day Uganda and was the starting point for major Luo clans like Joka, Jok, and that sounds like Hindu words. And Nam is a Chinese word, right? So, now we're gonna get to